I wanted to speak today about my little journey with physical mediumship and how I came to where I am now. A lot of my journey started, a lot of my life with my family, with both my mother, uncles, grandfather, different people, my vibration, were mediums, healers. They were on the circuit. They worked the circuits, camps, different things throughout the United States. So my journey started when I was very young, sitting in seance rooms in a bassinet. That's where I was. That's where I would spend my Sunday afternoon, sitting in a seance room. My mother would bring me in and set me on the floor, and I would be sitting there during the seances. So I spent a lot of my time in physical mediumship. But a lot of it started mostly when I was about 12. A lot of it started about, especially my trance, working with trance, because I would go into meditation. And I would think I was in meditation for like 10 minutes, and it would be 3 hours. 3 hours would have passed. And I kept asking my mother, my teachers, people were trying to help me. I said, what's going on? I'm gone for 3 hours. I do not remember where I'm gone, but I only think I'm in there for 10 minutes. And my mother started sitting with me. And at that time, I had a gentleman called Charles Davenport. He used to come through me and speak. He used to talk, speak from the spirit world. My mother started discerning him as he spoke to me. And he actually arrived with a lady called Mildred. And Mildred and him would work with me at my trance mediumship for quite a few years. They were always part of that vibration. And he speaks with like an English brogue, so he had this kind of English-Scottish brogue that he would come through and speak. So as I got older, they started to fade. And Lucerne showed up. And Lucerne's that entity that actually has never incarnated here, but he has said that he has incarnated in other planes of existence, never here. And he comes with 47 other souls that actually travel with him as a group energy with his energy vibration. So Lucerne now is my guide, but now when people have this whole connection to trance, people want to drop into trance and start talking. And trance takes movement. It takes years of getting used to the spirit that's trying to move through you. Discerning the spirit, discerning who's actually coming through you. I learned a quick lesson with that many years ago. I had a gentleman come, he's from out of state, not going to mention any names, but he came from out of state. This lady was looking for her child, wanted to know what had happened to her child. And the gentleman went into trance, and he brought this entity through, and the entity said, your child's dead. And I kind of knew the child wasn't dead. I kind of knew that. But I couldn't figure out why the spirit would tell her that and disrupt her completely. So he left, and she was crying. I consoled her. And Lucerne came through and told her exactly where her child was. And when police arrived at that house, they found the child there being kept prisoner. So the child was still very much alive. But I knew I could trust Lucerne to give me the information I needed to connect to that. But that took years of me trusting him to overshadow me. And the trance guides don't all kind of walk into your vibration and take over your whole body, and everything is just under the control, and you have lost it into the spirit world. They come up behind you and they overshadow you. They overshadow your vibration and take control of your mental vibrations for you. They work through you. They work through you. And you allow them to take as much energy as they need to do to make that happen. Usually your voice will change, mannerisms will change, situations will change with trance work. But it's through working at it and placing that in motion. The same thing with physical mediumship. I've had trumpets fly all over the room. I've had money drop from the ceiling. I've had people drop into the room. The question here is sitting and thing. Years ago, I used to have people used to sit in sounds, and they would sit for weeks, months. They would show up. The problem these days is people don't want to sit. They don't want to make that commitment to speak to spirit. It's kind of talking to spirit. It's giving them that avenue to speak with you. And if you're in a seance and in a vibrational seance, then that means that spirit is working with everybody within the group, not just the medium. They take energy from the complete group. Same thing as with table tipping, seance, trumpet, any of that comes from the group. A lot of people do trumpet, and I'm going to give you a little idea of how trumpet. If you don't know what a trumpet, these are trumpets. Usually they come in three parts. They break down into three parts. The little part at the very top of the trumpet, when you break that off of the trumpet, is for beginners. That's what you use. Once you get that little one to move, then you put it into the center one and you bring that out. Get that to move. Once that starts moving, then you hook them all together and bring that out. You don't try to move the whole thing at first. You move the little one first. A quicker way to get the trumpet to move and start making noises is you get yourself a crystal bowl. Crystal bowl. Has to be crystal, or glass. Has to be glass. Put some water in the bowl. Put some flowers within the water. Take the small trumpet and put it in the center of the bowl and let the bottom part of the trumpet be covered with water. The water and the flowers are going to energize the vibration of the trumpet. Trumpet voices will come out of it, probably within weeks. Question with that, it works very quickly, very fast, very quickly. The trumpets are aluminum now, so they're not going to rust. So you just dry them off after you're done, but put it in the water and you'll actually see the vibration of water is going to make it move. By having a seance or something, when you're having a seance or a vibration, you're going to have water, some kind of water to manifest energy and live cut flowers the day of the seance, of the vibrational seance. So if you're going to Walmart, pick up the flowers that have been cut a couple of weeks ago, probably not it. Go outside your yard, cut something that's still live. Cut it, put it in the room. Put some water in the room. Then sit quietly and see what spirit does. I've been at seances where people have actually a participation thing where spirit has taken canvases and drawn pictures on canvases. I still have a couple of pictures in my house drawn in a seance for my mother. The question here is these are drawn in midair, drawn on canvases and dropped to the floor. So there are things that you can see with me, but it's giving the energy, the vibration, giving the energy. If you're going to work with mediumship and work with that, then you should set, if you're going to go to meditation, get quiet, listen to spirit, set an alarm. If it hasn't happened within 30 minutes, give it a rest, come back the next day. Set an alarm, sit quietly for the 30 minutes. And then in 30 minutes, if there's nothing's happening in the vibration, come back the next day. Come back the next vibration. It all has to deal with how the energy of the room, the psychometry of the room, the energy of the room. If you come back every day and sit in the same space at the same time, you made an appointment with spirit. You made them come and speak to you. You told them, I'm sitting here at the time that I said I would be here. Speak to me. Allow them to speak to you. Allow them to work with you. Spiritualism has always been my love, my connection to religion. It's always been my connection. I've been in other religions, but spiritualism kind of does it for me. It does. Because I was raised in it. I was raised as a spiritualist. I was raised my whole life as a spiritualist. So it's always been part of me. It's always been part of my vibration of understanding this. And it gives me the idea that I can speak to spirit. I don't need somebody else to speak to spirit for me. I can speak to spirit myself. But it's the vibration of doing it. The reason mediums speak to you because we've just done a lot of work of doing that and preparing ourselves to speak with spirit. That's all. It just takes work. It takes you that commitment to speak to the spirit world. When we do all this stuff in churches and different things and do the mediumship and do the physical mediumship, it is more that spirit is here to try to help you, try to encourage you and bless you. Spirit is not here to show themselves off. If you think you're going to set the trumpet out and they're just going to come moving and speak to you and wave it all over the room, they're not going to do that. They are not going to show themselves like that. They are going to come and speak to you when you give it the effort to speak to them. And that's what I've learned through this. When Charles and Billy and Charles and them left, they're still a part of the group that I'm with at this point with my trance. But Lucerne is the major speaker with Tobias. Tobias and Lucerne are the major speakers within the group. They are who I speak with when I speak with Lucerne through trance. When I do mediumship, trance guides are not my guides for my mediumship. They're not. I have a tendency of people telling me that, oh my God, I have a mediumship guide. That's the only guide I have. No. Let's say you're a mediumship guide. My mediumship guide doesn't like you. Doesn't like you. Doesn't like you. My mediumship guide is not going to talk to you. But somebody else from the spirit world will drop up and be the mediumship guide to speak to you. Some guides do not want to speak to you. Not because you're not that. They just don't have the energy to speak to you. They don't want to. My guide's very opinionated. He has a little attitude. He does. But I think he's cool because he'll come in and I don't like him. Don't let him in the house. I go, well, let him in the house. No, don't like him. And you can actually see him trying to pull me away from the door. Don't let him in. Don't let him in here. Really? Let him in. But it's when I make the mistake of letting them in, then I go, oh, shouldn't have let him in. Shouldn't let him in. Because spirit is a way of allowing you to help who needs to be helped. They bring into your vibration of natural law. Who's supposed to be around you at the time of your life and help you and encourage you is supposed to be there. But you can hold a thing in your life by working with trance, working with vibration. Get a recorder. Set the alarm for 30 minutes. Go into meditation. If there's stuff going on in that recorder once you come out of meditation, it means that you've gone somewhere. That you're speaking. There's something that's happening. Then you get somebody to sit with you after that, to ask the spirit questions. Ask the spirit questions. Discern the spirit. Discern them of what they're doing. But it's the vibration of energy, the psychometry of all of it. This church has energy. You have energy. The chairs have energy. The floor has energy. Everything has energy. And the more energy you put into a space, the stronger the energy will become. So the more energy you put into something, the stronger it will become. Know that spirit is not here to hurt you. They are not here to disrupt your vibration. I had somebody call me the other day, well, Lou, you had your heart attack 3 weeks ago. That's because you were in physical mediumship. Really? Really? I'm the vessel. You're not going to destroy the vessel. Why would they set fire to the car? No sense in doing that. The question that is, spirit is very protective of your energy field. Is you are the voice for spirit. You are a connection to the spirit world. If they disrupt your whole vibration, you can't do anything. Then it says, you might as well just cover your head and just go back to sleep. Because spirit is here to help. Not to discourage, not to disrupt, but to encourage your vibration. To encourage your path, to help you. Remember, you have guides, family members. You have people that have traveled with you through lifetimes, encouragement, situations in your life. At any given moment, you've probably got 50, 60 people following you. At any given moment. Your little peeps. They're following you. And each one of them are trying to help you. Reminds me a lot when I was in Japan. I'm 6'3". Most people in Japan are a lot shorter than I am. So I'd be walking the street, I'd be about this high above everybody, walking down the street. So it was like, I thought that these are all my little peeps. all gathering around me. But the question is, if we really understand that they're there, each and every one is there to help you. But not all family members show up when you think they should. Don't think family members are at your beck and call. They are not. You have guides and people that appear in your life to get your attention when you need them. There's something going on in your life, either with your health, your finances, your relationships, your vibration within your life. Those guys that can help you with those situations are the ones that will arrive to help you. Sometimes your family members can't help you. They can't understand you. And if you have family members like me, thank God they live in another state. So, I'm not going to help as much as they should help. You understand? So, if you're wanting to look at somebody and say, well, they should help me. But the question here is, seances are this whole vibration. I threw a seance not long ago, and we had a lady come in with a car that her daughter had. The car lit up and it rolled. But she sat in the middle of the room, turned the car off, sat in her room, and she asked her daughter to come move the car. You know, that car turned on and run all the way across the floor to her feet. There are things that you can experience in a seance that you can't experience somewhere else. It is that idea of spirit moving into the vibration, allowing you to know that there is a spirit world. And that gives me the thing with physical mediumship. I work at it, I work at it, I work at it. Sometimes I get a lot of results, sometimes I'm still working at it, still giving it energy. So if you get discouraged with your mediumship, don't get discouraged with it. Ask them if there's something else you need to do or learn to make it better. Then somebody will bring a book, somebody will do something, somebody will put something in your vibration to make it better, to make it more encouraging for you. Don't give up on your mediumship, whether you're just doing it for yourself or you do it for other people. But the question here is, you need that connection. We all need a connection to spirit. It's not like we can just run this thing by ourselves. Your guides will be very quiet and they'll let you go. But don't think your guide's going to jump off the hill because you jumped off the hill. They're going to sit patiently till you climb out. You're not going to make them hurt themselves. They will protect you and guide you. And sometimes they will appear and drag you away from something because you've been a little crazy. They got to help you. And most of the time, they're your silent little partners moving in the vibration with you, moving with you as you move forward. So ask yourself, what do you personally need in your life? What do you need? You want to connect to spirit? Want to speak to them? Want to see them? What do you personally need in your life? On your journey, on your physical journey. We're all going to leave a certain point. We're all going to end up on the spirit side of life. What you see there is what you believe here. What you believe here. And that's the question here, is when I deal with individuals, they don't believe that there's a spirit. They don't believe that. So what you believe here is what you're going to see there. So ask yourself, what do you believe? How do you believe that spirit's going to work with you? How? I believe that every spirit that I have ever connected to is there on the other side. Going to greet me at the door when I get there. I'm going to be in a very positive space. I believe in karma. I do that. I do believe in that. But I believe a lot of karma in our life is caused by other people. We just get on the wrong bus and everybody in the bus is speaking Spanish. We have no idea what they're saying. But we get on these little journeys in our lives, take care of other people's life lessons and not our own. So we think bad about it, but it's really not our life lesson or life encouragement that we should have gone through. We're just trying to help the group with a catalyst to get other people to where they need to be. In mediumship, it is this question of conscious effort to make it happen. Sending that energy into the trumpet, sending that energy into the slates, sending that energy into the spirit box. Whatever you were sending it into. Back in the day, they got the electronic spirit box now. You turn on, you hear voices like, ooh. Back in the day, I still have it. My mother had it. I've got it now. It's a wooden box. I put a piece of paper in, some crayons, some different things inside the box, close the lid. You know, spirit writes in that box. They write stuff on those cards. So That's my little spirit writing box. I love them to write. I keep that in my meditative space. Little wooden box. Well, you don't need a big box, a little wooden box. Put some paper in there, some crayons, some different things. Put the lid down. Put it in your meditative space. Every few days or so, check it. You might see little messages written on a piece of paper. The spirit will write. My wife makes me crazy sometimes. She'll go in there and write things on the paper until she sees something. So, make her look crazy once in a while. Then I'll go, oh my God. And she usually spirit will write it real small. You got to take a magnifying glass, look at it, but there are words, they're like sentences written. You have to make they write it real small. You can see the writing on a piece of paper. But it's spirit working, trying to work in the vibration. Seances rooms do not have to be dark. Don't have to be pitch black darkness. Small red light in the room works extremely well. Keeps a lot of craziness not from the room. So, the small light in the room shouldn't be pitch black dark. You can't even see your hand in front of you. It should be a little bit of light in the room just so you can kind of make out situations in the room. Pitch black darkness, things could happen. Things could happen. So the question here, we had a little gentleman, he was like spitting out coins. He'd come here from spirit world, he's going to spit these coins out and these jewels out of a piece of paper. But we're all excited. We're all excited. He's going to be spitting this stuff out of a piece of paper. So he ends up in the room and he goes, the spirit regurgitated this coin. It was a big coin. I said, boy, all of us in this class would love to see that in person. You kind of getting that up out through your system. Nothing really happened in the seance that actually was believable. Let's put it that way. Believable. It wasn't. But remember, you do it under conscious of understanding. If it doesn't make sense to you, then don't play with that. Don't play with the vibration. With trumpets, you don't have to touch the trumpet. The trumpet should sit by itself. There should be nobody touching the trumpet. There should be nobody holding onto it in a pitch black room. It should sit on the table by itself. So no one can touch it. No one's allowed to touch it. Only once you touch that trumpet is the spirit. You lay it flat on the table. You lay it flat, let it move, but nobody should be holding that trumpet or holding it in the seance. You're going to sit in a room with other people, and if people are going to come to a group and you're going to sit with them, then you should mark people's names underneath the chairs. That way, when you come back the next time, you're going to sit with that group. Everybody will sit in the exact same chair they sat in the week before. So you're building the energy within the space. You're building the chain of energy throughout the circle. Everything has a purpose in the seance. Protecting the room. The presenter protects the room. The presenter protects the whole room. Not the people coming. You might be crazy. I'm not letting you protect the room. I want to go home without nothing attached to me. So I will protect the room. Wherever the presenter is protecting the room, it means that the presenter has protected the room. If you walk in that room and you do not feel good standing in that room and you get a bad feeling, you're not supposed to be there. Not because you're bad. This means that the energy within the room is not good for you. Go home. The energy will welcome you in, or it will keep you out. One or the other. Either welcome you or keep you out. So always listen to your higher self when you're doing this work. Your higher vibration. Not because somebody's telling you, oh my God, it's got to happen that way. No, it doesn't. It has to happen the way that you can do it. Your spirit is working with your vibration. Not with mine. They're working with you. They're working with your gifts, your connection to the spirit world. You might connect to spirit world a whole different way than anybody else. But that is your gift. That is your understanding of how to connect to spirit. So don't sit there and say, well, you know, there's people said I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't do that. Why not? Why not? that's what gets you connected to the spirit world. Work as if you are walking in the spirit world every moment. Every moment. Every connection that you do in your life is to have that connection or that energy from the spirit world. Spirit follows me. They've been through my vibrations for most of my life. I'm objective clairvoyant, so I see people like I see you in the spirit world. I see them. Not in my head. They're there. They're all sitting in this audience. I don't see them in here. I see them out there. I've had that strong connection throughout my life, but it doesn't mean that that was the only connection I had. Once I worked at that, I got clairaudience. Then I could smell spirit. I could work with all situations in my life. But listen to yourself. Trust your well-being. Don't let people tell you that you're not achieving what you need to do, but when you believe it is what you need to do that. Do what a lady told a medium one time, said, "Be gone with you, sir." So just don't let people organize your mediumship, that people allow you to be the medium you're supposed to be. And I want to thank you.